What's going on, everybody? Casey here, coming at you live from in the office. It is currently Wednesday morning. Had a lot of people actually really enjoy the message that I shared this week. And you know what? I think we're going to run with something. Just a little backstory from me. My faith walk started when obviously I grew up in the church. We were the type of family where we were what we'd like to call creasters. And for those who don't know what that means that we like to go to church on Christmas and Easter, the big ones. So, anyways, nothing against that. I think that's great. At least you're going and diving into God and having a relationship with Him. But so yeah, that I've always been around that, and then kind of obviously petered off, and as I got older, and long story short, the when I gave my life back to Christ would have been actually when I was down in Tampa. A lot of people didn't know this, but I actually lived down in Tampa for about a year. Shout out to my friends that let me live with them down there while we were trying to figure things out. You know who we are. And so yeah, that was part of my journey of diving back in and diving more into the Word. And then obviously met my wife Jenna, who they always say God always pretty much picks up right where we left off. And I went back and found him again, and just kind of enjoyed that journey and kind of started really diving in. And as I got older, I got to enjoy some conversations, even with my grandmother, Granny, as we like to call her. Try not to get emotional talking about this. Man, it hit me like a flood of emotion. Wasn't expecting that. But anyways, she always used to tell me that, Casey, if you can live by the book of Proverbs, you'll be just fine. So, as I was trying to come up with something to maybe guide some of you people out there, we're going to start out reading the book of Proverbs. So, we're going to see how this goes. This is just totally off the whim. I did not have this planned, so we're just going to kind of go with it. So, gives you a little backstory. Oh, I did get baptized. I should say rebaptized. I don't remember if I was baptized as a kid or not, but was baptized as when we lived up in Sheboygan with Pastor Steve. He's the one that actually married Jenna and I. So, but yeah. So, anyways, that's kind of my story, my walk in faith. As I go through trials and tribulations, I find myself sometimes trying to take stuff on by myself, and you know what? I know that's not the way to handle that kind of stuff. So, reason being is kind of goes off of what I posted this week was it's not my cross to bear. We have a loving God. He cares about us. But also, that doesn't mean that we're not going to go through hard times, because usually those hard times is where we get the best lessons. So, anyways, we're going to start out the chapter 1 of Proverbs, and it's titled The Purpose of Proverbs. Chapter 1, here we go. These are the Proverbs of Solomon, David's son, king of Israel. Their purpose is to teach wisdom and discipline, to help them understand the insights of the wise. Their purpose is to teach people to live disciplined and successful lives, to help them do what is right, just, and fair. These proverbs will give you insight to the simple knowledge and discernment to the young. Let the wise listen to these proverbs and become even wiser. Let those who understand receive guidance. By exploring the meaning of these proverbs and parables, these words are the wise and their riddles. Fear of the Lord is the foundation of true knowledge, but tools despise wisdom. Sorry, I got that highlighted. Let me reread that again. Wisdom and discipline. I had that highlighted, and obviously that was a little harder for me to read. This is titled A Father's... Guys, I am not a scholar or a very... some of these words I am going to botch, plain and simple. So, a father's exhortation, acquire wisdom. My child, listen when your father corrects you. Don't neglect your mother's instruction. What you learn from them will crown you with grace and be a chain of honor around your neck. My child, if sinners entice you, turn your back on them. They may say, "Come, join us. Let's hide and kill someone." That's deep. Just for fun, let's ambush the innocent. Let's let's swallow them alive like the grave. Let's swallow them whole like those who go down the pit of death. Think of the great things we'll get. We will fill our houses with all the stuff we take. Come and throw in your lot with us. We'll all share the loot. Sounds enticing, as sitting usually does. My child, go along with them. Stay far. That's backwards. My child, don't go along with them. Much better. Stay far away from their paths. They rush to commit evil deeds. They hurry to commit murder. If a bird sees a trap being set, it knows to stay away. But these people set an ambush for themselves. They are trying to get themselves killed. Such is the fate of all who are greedy for money. It robs them of life. Next title of this is Wisdom Shouts in the Streets. Wisdom shouts in the streets. She cries out in the public square. She calls out to the crowds along the main street, to those gathered in front of the city gate. How long, you simpletons, will you insist on being simple-minded? How long will you mockers relish your mocking? How long will you fools hate knowledge? Come and listen to my counsel. I'll share my heart with you and make you wise. I called you so often, but you wouldn't come. I reach out to you, but you paid no attention. You ignored my advice and rejected the correction I offered. So I will laugh when you are in trouble. I will mock you when disaster overtakes you, when calamity overtakes you like a storm, when disaster engulfs you like a cyclone, and anguish and distress overwhelm you. When they cry for help, I will not answer. Though they anxiously search for me, they will not find me, for they hated knowledge and chose not to fear the Lord. They rejected my advice and pay no attention when I corrected them. Therefore, they must eat the bitter fruit of living their own way, choking on their own schemes. For simpletons turn away from me to death. Fools are destroyed by their own complacency, but all who listen to me will live in peace, untroubled by fear. And that's the end of chapter 1. I think it's important to note that this is obviously these Proverbs, as I mentioned before, but those who are kind of new to this, Proverbs is actually a really good spot to start. And the cool part is like my Bible actually has really good little sections, and you can't really see it, but it is got some really cool stuff in it that gives you kind of the idea. Like mine has mega themes as in wisdom, relationships, speech, work, success. And then it has the explanation and then the importance of that. For example, wisdom. God wants his people to be wise. Two kinds of people portray two contrasting paths of life. The fool is the wicked, stubborn person who hates and ignores God. The wise person seeks to know and love God. The importance of that is when we choose God's way, he grants wisdom. His words, the Bible, leads us to live right and have right relationships and make right decisions. And then also in the bottom, it has little tidbits and a little more explanation. But that's chapter 1 today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Get your day started on the right path. I guess no matter what time of the day you're listening to this, I like to do my time in the morning personally. It's a good way to get the day started. And let me know what you guys think. What's your favorite verse? Especially out of Proverbs. Usually everybody has a verse out of Proverbs because it's basically one giant motivational at times, as that was a little bit more doom and gloom, but he's setting the precedence to let you know, hey, don't be a dummy. Follow God. This is Casey. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Have yourself a marvelous day.